Star Trek Stormspike, starring Brian Cann as Captain Maxwell Vane, Chris as Dr. Balial, Simon as Chief Engineer Barandi, and Kelvin as Lieutenant Korsh Jav Korkal. You have been in orbit of Earth for the last several weeks. Your new posting, the USS Stormspike, has been in space dock for the last 6 months, undergoing a complete refit. You have spent your time either on Earth at Starfleet HQ or working aboard the Stormspike in an effort to get her ready for her shakedown cruise. The day has finally come when you will be meeting the rest of your crew members. Captain Vane.
Yes.
You have received your orders from Starfleet Command and have made your way to a teleportation pad. Your last view that you see of San Francisco is the seagulls and beautiful vista of the Golden Gate Bridge before you head into the building and make your way to the transport pad. With a nod to the transport chief, you step onto the pad and give the command to energize. You materialize in a transport pad. Standing before you is the figure of a elderly and grizzled looking Bajoran male, wearing the red uniform of a con officer and the 3 pips of a commander. You recognize this to be Commander Dovit, your second in command. Standing next to him, in the uniform of a chief petty officer and a tightly wound and immaculately pressed turban, is your transport officer and basically veteran of the ship, Chief Petty Officer Pandu Gupta, who gives you a equally immaculate salute as you step off the transport pad. Commander Dovert walks towards you and offers his hand. Captain.
I'll take his hand and shake it. It's a pleasure to be here.
The pleasure's ours. Most of the crew have made their way onto the ship and are unloading. We should be ready to get underway for the shakedown tour in 72 hours.
That sounds perfect.
Would you like to take this opportunity to tour the vessel?
Lead the way.
Commander Dovit leads you out into a hallway before turning back and saying, "What would the captain like to see first?" And it's at this point that I shall move everybody across to the LCARS map. It's quite a big one, so you should be able to zoom out.
Bole. Commander Dovitt.
Yes, sir.
I believe the best place to start will be the mess rooms. I could use a drink. It's been a hard week, and I find the crew tend to be more themselves there. It's probably the best place to get a feel for it.
While I appreciate your sentiments, sir, it's unlikely that that any members of the crew will be in the dramatic Albatross at the moment. It's still during peak. I was about to say business hours there. Peak duty hours.
The dramatic Albatross.
That's the name of the tavern here on the Stormspike.
Sounds delightful. Regardless, I think it's as good a place to start as any.
Very well, sir. Dovitt leads you to a turbo lift, and you are quickly whisked to the recreation area of the ship.
I want to when I'm walking through there, I want to just take in like the sights and the smells and stuff like that. Immerse myself in like the atmosphere of this deck.
You enter the Albatross, and as Commander Dovitt stated, it is currently empty with the exception of a human male standing behind the bar. He is dressed as if an old-timey Western bartender, complete with red waist jacket, puffy sleeves and shirt tails, and a large oiled moustache and slicked hair atop his head. He looks up and as you enter, and before leaning on his bar, and says, "Well, I wasn't expecting to see anyone this early."
Just the gentleman I was looking for. I'm Captain Vane, and you are?
Rupert Rohr.
Excellent. Call me Maxwell.
I don't think that's appropriate, Captain.
Please, I insist.
That may take some getting used to.
Understandable. Can I have a glass of water, please? Dovitt?
I'm fine, sir.
Now, how have the crew been?
I
What sort
wouldn't.
of feelings you have from them?
I wouldn't know. Mostly people have been coming and going. Mostly it's been the refit crew. The ship crew have only recently come on board, like myself. I only got here yesterday.
Oh, that soon. Well, excellent. It makes my following series of questions I intended to ask moot. But regardless, I'm very glad to make your acquaintance. And I turn to Dovitt, I put my glass of water down, and I say, we can now proceed with the standard tour.
I did say so, sir.
And nod, and say, taken in.
So where would you like to? So where to, sir? Might I suggest the sick bay, engineering, the bridge?
Engineering sounds like a good idea.
Of course, follow me, sir. And he leads you back to the nearest turbo lift. Meanwhile, in engineering, Chief Barandi. I tell a lie, it's not even Chief Barandi, is it? It's Chief Razix. Chief Razix and Lieutenant Corkle are currently in a rather deep discussion about fluctuations in the sensor array that have been causing trouble for the last week and a half. Or they're not.
Sorry, I forgot I had the push to talk on. I'm telling you, it's the array. It's the front array dish. I think the misalignment must be there.
I checked, it's not there. It's aligned correctly. It's got to be something else.
Alright, what's your suggestion?
I'm not sure. I'll have to have another look, but no, I can always check the alignment anyway. But I've double checked it.
I say we go back both this time and check the dish one more time.
Can do. It'd be sod's bloody law that it's the damn dish. Not the alignment, just the dish itself.
Alright, let's go over there. We'll find it when we're there.
You hear a psst of one of the automatic doors opening, and two men open. One you recognise as Commander Dovit, the middle-aged Bajoran, and the other you have not yet met, although from his description and his uniform, you are pretty sure this is the elusive Captain Vane.
I will give a swift salute and say, Lieutenant Commander SNO Razix.
I salute myself.
I salute back and say, Captain Vane, of course. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Lieutenant Jav Corkle.
You couldn't remember your name there for a second, could you, Kelvin?
No.
Even though it's on the screen.
I know.
Commander Dovit nods and says, "We're just doing the shakedown tour. We're just doing the tour before the shakedown flight. Anything to report, Lieutenant Commander?"
We seem to be having an issue with the sensors. Not sure if it's the array or if it's just the dish itself. We've run diagnostics several times, but we're still unsure.
We're still having issues like this so close to the shakedown flight.
Razix, could you please give me a reason engineering with a let me see, complication range of 1.
How did I check the complication range? I put the 1 on the roll, right?
Right on the right hand side It's where it says complication range. Just make sure that 1 is selected, and task roll needs to be 2 because it's T2 is the default.
Yep.
So you also need to set that to reason engineering, and then if you hit the task roll button. Okay, 1 success. That's enough to make it. But because you only got the 1 success, you do not gain any momentum. However, Lieutenant Corkle, could you do the same, please, to assist, but with your task roll set to 1?
That's reason and engineering.
Reason engineering. Okay. With your assist, you have caused Lieutenant Commander Razix to gain 1 momentum. That is a difficulty 1 thing you just did. And because you assisted her, technically she got 2 successes, so she gains 1 momentum. Lieutenant Commander Razix, you are pretty sure that the fault is definitely to do with the main deflector dish that is causing the issue with the sensors. You're pretty sure that it's going to take an EVA crew to get out there and actually check the alignment of the thing before the sensor glitches that you've been having will be rectified.
Cool. It just struck me. It might be the main deflector dish. I think we're gonna need to get the team out there and fix it immediately. Hello?
And the fact that Brian didn't say make it so just makes me really disappointed with him.
Well, I haven't yet. I was waiting for Corkle to say something first, because Razix was talking to Corkle, not me.
Corkle doesn't seem to be responding, apparently.
Kelvin, that's you.
Sure. I'll get on it.
Excellent. Make it so.
Nah, too little, too late.
I know. I turn to Dovik and I say, issues I don't mind about, but they seemed keen to rectify them and seem to have the know-how to do it fast. That's what's important here.
As you say, sir. He gestures towards the engineering. As you can see, the entire engineering department has been upgraded to current standard. We are currently holding a full load of dilithium crystals, and our the matrices have been recently completely realigned. With the warp coils that have also recently been replaced, we should be good for several years before we need another refit.
Sounds perfect. I'm just gonna walk around the inside of engineering. Not like imposingly, quite casually. And I'm just gonna take notice of people at system screens, people just doing as they do. Just taking it in.
Commander Dovit turns to Lieutenant Commander Razix and says, is there anything else you require?
Not at this time, sir.
Very well.
Captain, whenever you're ready, we can head to sickbay or the bridge.
Lead on to sickbay, Commander Dover.
The commander nods and then nods to Razix and Corkle before heading to the turbo lift.
I nod to them also, and then head into the lift here.
Yeah, give him a swift salute back.
Meanwhile, in the sick bay, Dr. Baliol.
At your service, yep.
You and the ship's counsellor, Dr. Amagawa, have been slaving away for the better part of 2 days, along with let me see where it is. Specialist Ozerio, your nurse, in order to stow the massive amount of medical supplies and surgery tools that are required to run a medical facility for the 700 crewmen and women aboard the Stormspike. Needless to say, it has been a somewhat stressful situation, as it is any time you have to deal with Starfleet quartermasters for a extended period of time. As it stands, you are still currently missing several decaliters of saline solution that are required for your for drips and other medical procedures, and have been on the comms with the Starfleet quartermasters all morning and are getting absolutely nowhere. Dr. Amagawa leans over your shoulder and with a slightly frustrated edge to her voice says, "We could always try killing them."
No, we tried that before on the last planet we were on, and I just laugh it off, really. That's not our job, as well, you know.
It wouldn't be a job. It could simply be for fun.
We'd be out of our job. Now, help me with these boxes. We've been on this all morning now, for God's sake.
She helps you start moving the boxes. When you hear the pts of the door open, and you see Commander Dovit and a human male enter the sickbay.
Commander Dovit, welcome to my nightmare. How can I help you?
Just taking the captain on the tour before we get everything stowed for the shakedown journey.
Brilliant. I stick my hand out. Dr. Josephine Baliol here at your service, or you can just call me Joey, or Dr. Balls was quite common at uni, and trail off.
Out of character, it's Baliol here.
I rolled it online, so I'm going to say it's Belial.
Belial, okay. Dr. Belial.
You could have corrected me about that before I said it several times.
Yeah.
I made it up, to be honest. I made it up. It's so made up, so there is no correct way as far as I know.
Okay.
Dr. Belial, it's a pleasure to meet you. And you, of course, as well. Dr. Owago.
Dr. Yamagawa.
Yamagawa, sorry.
I'm the ship surgeon, and Dr. Belial, Sorry, no. That's wrong. That's completely wrong. I'm the ship's counsellor. Dr. Belial is the ship's surgeon.
Yes, I've read about your work, Captain, and it's a pleasure to finally meet you. I'm looking forward to this mission, and yeah, anything I can do to help you, just let me know. I'm here anytime.
And likewise, if you have any needs, bring them to me, and we'll see what we can do.
No worries. I will hop up onto the bridge.
Dr. Yamagawa nudges you in the ribs, Belial, and says, "Ask him to get the saline solution."
Oh, there is one thing, Captain. We seem to be having a problem sourcing one of our urgent supplies as well. And they're just giving me the runaround. Is there anything you can do for us?
I tap on my comms badge. Can you put me through to the starbase, please? It's Captain Bay.
It's you want the Starfleet Quartermaster's service.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask when I got put through.
Okay. One second.
Really help us out, because they just I've been on hold, and if I hear Four Seasons again in mono, I'm going to scream.
You tap your comm bead, and you are immediately contacted to the communications officer on board the ship, or at least one of them, and you are connected immediately to someone at Starfleet Command. A voice comes over the comm. "This is Chief Petty Officer Haralson. How can I help you, sir?"
I believe a request has been put through for sailing solution for the USS Stormspike.
I've already said, sir, that we need to wait for it to be delivered to our storehouses before we can dispatch it to the Stormspike.
Do you have an ETA on that at all?
It could take 3 or 4 days, sir.
It could.
Well, you know how things are, sir. The supply and demand. There are other ships in the space dock. Plus, Starfleet Medical here is always grabbing up whatever supplies that we get in.
Do your ledgers state how much saline solution the starbase currently holds?
Yes.
And there isn't enough to make an emergency delivery to this ship that is due to leave on its shakedown flight.
I am going to need you to give me a presence command. Complication range 1, task roll 2.
So it was presence command, yeah?
Presence command, complication range 1, task range 2. Dr. Belial, if you could set that up the same, except your task roll should needs to be a 1 because you can assist Captain Vane.
Complication 2?
No, complication 1. And for you, task roll needs to be 1 as well.
Okay.
Okay, Captain Vane. You succeed. It was a difficulty 1, so you gain 1 momentum. Something I should have mentioned at the end of the last scene. Razix, you had a choice at the end when the captain left. That was technically the end of that scene. Now you can either keep hold of that 1 momentum that you've got, or you can just declare that you're banking it, in which case it will go into the group bank.
I'll bank it.
Okay. So if you've been reading through the books, the difference between the two types of momentum is there's two types of momentum: immediate momentum and regular momentum. Regular momentum is stuff that has been put into the bank. In this case, it will be on this tracker. Since you have banked one, there'll be one in the tracker. This is standard momentum. Now, if your momentum is on your sheet, you need to take it off of your sheet once you've banked it. Now, if it is on your sheet, then that is immediate momentum, and that is used for different things.
Already taking it off.
Excellent. So currently, the momentum that the group has is Vane has one immediate, and there's one in the bank. After getting dressed down by you, Captain Vane, the quartermaster stammers for a little bit and says, I'm sure that if I was to contact the starbase, as you say, then we can probably see about getting some of their supplies transferred to the Stormspike, and then sending yours up to yours from the stores here on Earth up to the space dock itself, and do it that way. That should be possible, Captain.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. You've had a great idea there, because last time I checked, the station isn't going anywhere. And therefore can afford to wait, of course.
It should take us a couple of hours to get the supplies loaded from the space dock and across to the Stormspike.
Excellent. Vena. And then I cut the comp. I nod and say, doctors, and then turn to Dovit. The bridge, please.
Very well, sir.
I will keep you posted, Captain, when that's aboard as well. Thank you so much.
Don't mention it.
You head to the nearest turbolift and begin to head up to the bridge. Captain Vane.
Yes.
Could I please get from you an insight science check, please?
What's the task roll?
Task roll is always going to be 2 unless you're assisting, and unless I tell you, it's always going to be complication 1.
Okie dokie.
Hacks. As the turbolift reaches the bridge, before you step forward to open the doors and step out onto the bridge, you hear something, and it takes you a couple of seconds to realise that there is very loud classical music from the 20th century being played on the bridge. Specifically, if your knowledge of history proves right, it is Like a Record by Dead or Alive.
Vane's not sure how he feels about this.
Commander Dovit just has a slightly puzzled look on his face.
I'm gonna take the high road. And I turn to Dovik. and I say, it may be wise to inform the bridge that they're about to have company.
The commander nods and taps his comm badge. Dove it to bridge. You hear the music shut off from the other side of the door, and a voice comes over the comm. Galloway here, sir. Just sending you advance warning that the new captain is on the way up. Should be with you momentarily. Acknowledge, sir. Dovit turns to you and nods.
I nod back.
So are we just going to keep standing here in this turbo lift?
No, I'll open the door. I thought that they opened on their own.
They do when you approach them.
Okay, I approach the door.
Okay, with a pts, the door opens, revealing the bridge. It is empty except for a single ensign. He is absolutely massive, towering even over you, Captain Vane. His long brown hair is cut sheer across the back, and his beard is closely cropped. He has a rather cantankerous look on his face, but I must say is looking absolutely fabulous in his standard issue Starfleet scant. As you enter the room, he salutes and says, Ensign Drew Galloway reporting, Captain.
I shoot him a salute after he salutes me, obviously. And it's a pleasure to meet you, Captain Vane.
I am aware, sir.
Excellent. Have you had any issues up here?
No, sir. All systems are working nominally. We've had a bit of problems with our sensor array, but engineering's working on that. Mostly, I've been making sure that the traffic in and out of the shuttle bays has been going smoothly, and that crew are getting on board and generally directing things of that nature, sir.
Excellent. Yeah, everywhere I've been so far has had some small issue. It's making my head spin right round.
You see a slight look of panic in his eyes for a moment, but he covers it well.
Regardless, it's a pleasure to meet you.
He salutes before giving you a slight sideways glance and going back to his console.
I will walk to the captain's chair, and I'm just going to rest a hand on the back of it.
That'll be the captain's chair. Obviously.
Are the view screens currently active?
They are, but they're just showing the inside of the space dock.
Of course. I look, and I turn to Dovik.
It's Dovit with a T.
Ah, Dovit. Okay, sorry.
If you go to your, what's it called, your journal, you will be able to see that, with the exception of the other player characters, you should be able to see all of the other support staff.
Yep, I can see them all.
Just a little bit of clarification. He is not Commander Moss. He is Commander Dovit. He's Bajoran, which means Dovit is his surname, Moss is his first name. When you call out to him, Commander Dovit steps forward. Yes, Captain.
Out of character, would it be apt for me to gather the officers in my ready room when they're available?
Do you have a reason that you want to talk to them?
I just want to talk to them all and tell them that I'm like looking forward to, to
You can do that if you
being
want.
captain. And yeah,
That's up to you. If you wish to assemble the command officers.
could you assemble the command officers for me? I'd like to address them and the wider crew.
I can, sir. Would you like to do it face to face, or would you like to use the intercom?
I look thoughtfully for a second and I say, the intercom may do just fine.
Commander Dovit looks over at Ensign Galloway and says, Ensign, shipboard, please. Dovit nods to you when after the tone.
Okay. God, my fucking kid's shouting at her now. I would like to take a moment to thank you all for the hard work you're putting in, getting this wonderful ship ready to take its shakedown voyage. I would like to express my gratitude at having the honor to captain this ship and to work with you all. I hope that this can be an adventure of astounding proportions for all of us, as we look to not only find wondrous things within the universe, but find wondrous things within ourselves. I'm looking forward to meeting you all personally over what will hopefully be years to come. Captain Payne, out.
Please give me a presence command roll. Okay, the message comes across the tannoy, and everybody on board hears it. I would like everybody, please, for the remainder of this, I'm going to, not session, but technically this adventure, to please add the following trait. That's trait and on your character sheet.
I don't see trait.
What do you mean you don't see trait?
Under assignment.
It's right at the top.
Yeah.
It's not like
Aha, right, sorry.
you got it.
This is a temporary trait for the mission. It's basically a bonus. We'll call it... what's a good word for it? Inspired leadership, or inspiring leadership.
I take it I don't add it though.
No, you can add it as well.
I suppose for him it would be like, inspirational.
Well, that's technically the same thing.
I suppose. Yeah.
Okay. Commander Dovit turns to you, Captain Vane, and says, there are a couple of other crew members that are currently not aboard, specifically our tactical officer, Lieutenant Chazor. God, he had to choose a difficult to pronounce name. Lieutenant Choshovor, and our science officer, Junior Lieutenant Hawk. We are due to pick them up on Riser in a couple of weeks' time.
I turn to him and I say, hopefully our little issues are ironed out by then.
They should be, sir. I was asked after you got yourself settled to have you contact Starfleet Command for our orders.
Excellent. I will do. I'll make it my first priority. Thank you, Commander. You have been a great help.
Commander Dovit leaves. It is now that we fast forward 3 days. With the assistance and bellowing of the captain and the expertise of the engineering crew, you managed to get the Stormspike into full working order before the shakedown journey. It is a very traditional journey, just a quick warp out to Jupiter's moons and then a return to space dock. The sensor malfunctions have been fixed, as has the slight wobble in the inertia dampeners. Everything is going according to plan. Captain Vane, you are given given orders, which I will just pass through to you now. And we will now fast forward several weeks as you have travelled out from the Sol system to the galactic south, to the edge of the Beta Quadrant, near the border of the Klingon Empire.
Is this when I read the captain's log?
That is when you read the captain's log.
Fuck yeah. Captain's log. Stardate 2464.119. The Stormspike has been dispatched to escort the independent freighter, the USS Big Daddy. On behalf of the research colony, LSV 5772. Located deep within the Briar Patch, an area that is essentially a gas cloud, known for containing dangerous space matter, including false vacuum fluctuations and metaphasic radiation. Once inside the patch, we will be forced to drop out of warp and proceed at no greater than 1/3 impulse, or we risk tearing our impulse manifolds apart. According to Director Leighton McRae of LSV 5772, Orion pirates have been seen in the area. 5772 itself is protected by anti-ship defenses, but there are smaller, unlisted settlements dotted throughout the area that have suffered from raids.
Which is at this point, I move you all into the briefing room. Because we have moved scene now, the stored momentum that you have previously had has decayed, as has the momentum that you had gained, Captain Vane.
Of course.
You're currently sitting around the table in the briefing room, deciding which course to take next. You have rendezvoused with the USS Big Daddy And I would just like to point out that that was a randomly generated name, which I found so bloody funny that there was no way I wasn't using it. Before you is the Briar Patch, a massive collection of nebulae or nebulas and other horrendous space wibbly wobbly stuff. And also home to those pricks from Star Trek Insurrection.
So, we're all aware of the difficulties that face us. Has anybody got any ideas for what the best course of action is?
I mean, the note I've written down there is about the pirates could be an issue. But we're in much bigger ships, so is it worth us just trying to not avoid them? Just sort of charge through them, blow them up if we need to? I don't think we should be scared of them because we're much bigger, is the point I'm making.
Commander Dovit will interject at that point and say, "That is true, but the Big Daddy is unarmed. While it may not be a problem for us, the Big Daddy is hauling significant amounts of perishable food items as well as medical supplies that cannot be replicated. They are also carrying vital technological replacement parts for the colony."
I'll wash myself some petri dishes. Tactics isn't my strong point.
Lieutenant Corkle, you have been, as the con operator, not the con operator, sorry, the ops operator, or chief of ops, you have been having a hell of a time trying to get any sensor readings out of the Briar Patch in your approach to it. There is a lot of subspace interference and sensor interference in the Briar Patch, and you're pretty sure that with some work you might be able to fix those issues, but if you were to go in there as you currently are, you're going to be pretty much blind.
Sir, if we go in there now, we'll be blind as a bat. We can't. There's so much interference. Might as well just go in there blindfolded. If you give us a couple of days, we should be able to get the sensors calibrated and, well, should be sorted, ready to go then.
Couple of days? What are you, an engineer? What part of perishable supplies did you not understand, Corkle? Says Commander Dovit.
You do realise that if we go in now, we won't be able to see a single thing. We might even be able to see the transport.
Well, how long will it take you to fix the issue with the sensors?
Just a case of trying to get some more readings of the and calibrate so we can see through the interference. A couple of days at max. Half a day at most. Well, shortest.
Dovit turns to you, Captain Vane, and says, "We may not have that sort of time."
No, I agree. How do I address the ship?
You would just say that you want to address the ship. I mean, again, why do you want to address the ship?
I want to, because there must be established shipping routes in the area.
No, there's not. This is
There's
the
none.
there's not. This is the Briar Patch. This is basically the frontier. The Briar Patch is basically this massive area of nebula and horribleness on the border between the Klingon Empire and the Federation. It's filled with pirates and escapees and scumbags, basically. The only reason people go spend any time here is because it is the result of a supernova, so it is of great scientific interest. It's also incredibly mineral rich.
I see.
Captain Vane, basically, you don't need to address the crew for the entire crew for everything. That is the whole point of the briefing room, and you're dealing with the senior
No,
staff.
I meant like the actual ship itself.
I don't understand what you mean. Address the ship.
Like look in the ship's systems for old shipping routes, and maybe even lines that the pirates in the area. See if we have any information on that. That's where I was going. I wasn't gonna open to the floor.
Right. Okay. So when you said address the ship, to me that means you want to speak to the crew.
Okay. No. I meant the ship itself.
Right. Okay. Well, you don't address the ship or contact the ship or anything like that. Basically, the only time you're going to be using the ship's information, the ship, the Starship Registry sheet, is when you're using the ship to assist you with something.
Okay.
In this case, like for example, if Corkle wanted to do a sensor sweep, he would do it using his skills, and the Stormspike would assist him.
Okay. I see.
Now, what you want to do is basically if this was D&D, you would want to be doing a history check to see if you could find out about these pirates and so on and so forth.
Yeah, no, because it's just like when you watch The Next Generation, it's like, computer, do we have any, like that sort of thing, like whenever they want information, they just go, computer.
Sadly, right. That's I mean, again, you can use the ship to assist you in that case. For you, it would be an. Let me see. Probably an insight con. And I can set up a computers. Actually, no, it wouldn't be, because you want information about pirates, so it'd be insight security for you, and we can do computer security for the ship and have that roll to assist you.
Okay.
You did roll. Unfortunately, you got a nat 20, which is a complication. Let me just see. One for the ship is assisting you. Okay. Right, there's nothing that I can really do here for a complication, but because you did get a nat 20, which is a crit fail, I am going to be awarding myself 2 threat.
Okay, noted.
In that situation, sorry, in that situation, as the captain, wouldn't you be better delegating one of the departmental heads to do
Though.
I just thought they might get a better role, and then they would be in you, and also you might get some value bonuses and shit like that.
Yeah, but we haven't picked them up yet.
Oh, I see your predicament. Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, at that point, you can request one of the other support crew to do it.
That's very true.
Well, that's the computer.
What I would also suggest is like the engineering could have done it because they're ops, so they're still technically at least partial security. There is no information on these pirates. The trouble with the Briar Patch is it is literally very little known about it because it is so unstable and so dangerous.
Okay.
The only information that the computer can give you is a site of a great battle in Klingon history called what is it called? Like Crack de Brel Cracked or something like that. I cannot remember the exact name of it. 1 second.
This doesn't look good, Captain. Interested Vulcan battle, but
Klatch de Kel Bracht, a site of a great Klingon battle. Other than that, there's not a lot of information on the Briar Patch itself.
Understood. Lieutenant Corporal.
Yes, sir.
If we diverted a lot of the ship's resources to dealing with the sensor issue, how much can you cut the time down by?
Above the table here, Kelvin, there aren't any charts or anything that tell you how long this is going to be. Just RP it.
Ooh, maybe about half the time.
So a quarter of the day. Perfect.
Yeah. Bear in mind, part of as we're going into a nebula, it could affect tactical systems as well, such as weapons and possibly the engine, as nebulas are known to do. Just a warning.
We'll cross those bridges when we get to them. Our most prime concern at the moment is getting those supplies to the settlements.
Indeed. Being able to see where we're going would help.
Exactly.
Boldly going forward because we can't find reverse.
Is there anything else, Captain? Otherwise, I'll get right on it.
Has anyone else got any more insights into the mission?
no, only that the pirates are obviously just not bandits who are robbing people because they've attacked the villages.
The Orions are known mostly as the Orion Syndicate. They are there's an old Starfleet Academy joke that sums up the Orions pretty much perfectly. How can you tell if an Orion ship is a slaver or a trader? If you're armed with phasers, it's a trader.
I like it.
Yeah, I just picked it up because out of character a second. My character is such a hippie, help everyone person that she wants to try and help the villagers as well. If we get time, it'd be great to see what the damage is there. But we should be cautious of the pirates because they obviously shoot.
Noted. Hopefully the sight of us will be enough to dissuade them attacking.
Very well. Lieutenant Corkle, do you need any help with anyone for fixing the sensors, or do you want to try and do it by yourself?
Who's the substitute science officer? I've forgotten.
Let me see. If you want a substitute science officer, there is you actually have a choice. There is Specialist Valan, or there is Specialist Shalensky.
Okay. I would like to call Specialist Valan to give me a hand.
Okay. You head out onto the bridge and return to your stations. Okay. Specialist Valan, a female Vulcan, approaches you as you begin working on the sensor array and says, Lieutenant Corkle, I am Valan. How can I be of service?
We've been tasked to go through this briar patch. With all the interference, we can't see anything at all. I've been asked, well, commanded, to recalibrate the sensors to be able to cut through it. I've been given permission to use as many resources as I can to get this done quickly.
Then I am happy to help. Sensor operations are a specialty of mine.
Fantastic. Let's get to it then.
Okay. So, this is actually going to be an extended task. It is actually going to require a number of successes over a set of rolls. Specifically, it's going to take 3 rolls to produce a grand total of 5 successes. Now, it is a pretty complicated job. So the complication range for this task is going to be complication range 2, and it is going to require a insight engineering or insight science, your choice.
I'll go with engineering.
Okay.
That's insight engineering.
Now, Valan can assist you, or you can have Valan do the one of the checks herself. It's entirely up to you. If she does one of the checks herself, she's not going to be able to assist you. However, that is not to stop you contacting any other member of the crew and also asking for them to help you.
Okay.
For example, Chief Engineer Razix might be able to assist you. There are also other members of the science crew.
With nebulae, that'd be more quantum physics than physics, wouldn't it?
Let me have a look at your... is this your focuses you're looking at here?
Yeah.
Give me a second just to check your sheet. Out of inspiration, inspiration as a focus.
That is from my betrayed ideals for a superior. I was given the choice of that and another 2 things.
I'm not sure what you mean by inspiration. that could be anything.
I'll just put it on there to make note of it to check it later on.
You
Sorry
might
about that, I
want to. You might want to actually put one of them on there. Let's have a look here. Again, also physics is a little too broad.
I'm thinking more just general physics than anything.
Yeah, see, it's sadly general. Like physics is such a wide thing that it's not focused. That's the whole point of a focus, is that you need to be a specific, be a subject. Like if you, like, for example, physics could be astrophysics, it could be mechanical physics. There's a lot of different physics. So, for example, here, this would be this could be classed as astrological phenomenon. It could very well be astrophysics as well. What the most accurate thing for it is sensor operations. That's what we're actually doing here. So, did you get a chance to watch those videos?
I hadn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would suggest strongly in between the next sessions, especially the one that deals with focuses, because it looks like you're still not 100% sure what the focuses are. Okay, but as it stands, none of your focuses would actually be applicable here. But as like I say, this is going to require 3 rolls, not 3 dice, 3 checks.
Yeah.
Now you can either do them all yourself and have Valiant help you, or you can do one and have someone else help you. Like you can have, for example, you could have. I mean, you could do that with the assistance of the Stormspike. You could have Valiant do it, the next one. And you could have Razix and one of the other science crew to assist on the third one. It's up to you, seeing as the captain put you in charge of this operation.
Okay. I'll do one with the ship to help to start.
Okay.
I'll calm Chief Engineer Razix to give me a hand.
You'll have to RP that.
Yeah. I will do in a second. I'll have Valan help me with the third.
Okay.
I would like to calm Chief Engineer.
Well, you don't need to. You would just say open comm link Chief Razix.
Okay. Open comm Chief Razix.
Chief Razix here.
Hey Chief. We may need a hand with the calibrations. Are you happy to come and give me a hand with it?
Of course, I'll be right there.
Thank you.
Okay, so while Razix is on her way, Corporal, if you could please give me the Insight Engineering. Yep, you've got that set up correctly. And as for the Stormspike, it is going to be sensors and engineering and task. Okay, that went very well. It is a you have generated 3 successes. So yeah, 3. What's it? 2 left to get, and 2 more checks to do it in.
Mm-hmm.
So Chief Razix has arrived. Who do you want to do the second check?
I'll get Chief Razix. No, actually, I'll get Valiant to give me a hand with the second check.
Okay. That would be the same check. Okay. That is 2 more successes. Technically you have succeeded. If you do any further successes you get now for the third one will be momentum.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it's going to be Razix.
And I'll ask Razix, would you come over and give me a hand? These are the readings and the calibrations so far.
I will take a look and then perform the last roll. I guess.
Okay. Is it going to be Razix doing the roll, or is it going to be Corkle doing the roll? You've already used
I'll do the roll.
Stormspike. You've already used Stormspike, and you've used Valan to assist. They can't assist any further.
I'll do the roll.
Okay, so it's just going to be a single dice for you, Razix.
Yes, and it's insight, right?
Insight engineering. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, you both gain 1 momentum.
Excellent.
Okay, you have calibrated the sensors to filter out a lot of the interference. The rest of the mission would be under the trait Sensor Interference 2, but you have reduced that to Sensor Interference 1. What that means is, had you failed, then any rolls to detect anything with sensors, be that tricorders or with the ship, over the rest of the time that you were in the Briar Patch would have been +2 difficulty. Because you succeeded, it is only going to be +1 difficulty.
Ooh.
Congratulations. We are ending the scene. If you have any momentum you would like to bank, now is the time to do it.
I'm going to bank.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so you end the scene, however, that means you're only going to be actually able to keep 1, because at the end of each scene, you always decay 1 momentum. But there is 1 in the bank remaining.
Excellent.
Okay. The work goes ahead very smoothly, and it only actually takes you about an hour to clean up the sensor issue and get the sensors recalibrated. Way under the 6 hours that you told the captain it would take. So, Captain, you are currently in your ready room, drinking a nice hot cup of Bovril, when the...
I am not. He's drinking chamomile to keep his shit calm and collected.
I heard Bovril.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I said chamomile.
When the report comes through that these sensors have been realigned and you're clear to enter the nebula.
Take us in slowly, Ensign Galloway. Hail Big Daddy and tell him that we're moving out. Ask him to stay behind us.
Aye,
Let us
sir.
break trail with our better shields. Engage.
Okay.
Yeah.
You enter into the nebula. Your passage is relatively smooth, though the sensors still have issues picking out everything. It's a lot clearer than it would have been had you not successfully recalibrated them. The Big Daddy follows closely behind you. When Corporal, you are at your ops station when you receive a incoming signal.
Captain, we have an incoming signal.
Can you ascertain what the signal is, where the signal's coming from? Corporal.
If you wish to try and check for that.
I would like to.
That is actually, see, this is quite interesting. That is actually a difficulty 0 thing to do. It's very, very easy. So you have a choice here. You can either just do it, or you can roll. Now, it's actually impossible for you to fail, but if you get successes, then then it's extra momentum.
Okay. I'll roll.
Okay, then that is going to be a control con check.
Okay.
2 dice, difficulty 1. Okay, you gain 2 momentum. It appears to be a distress signal from a settlement in the Briar Patch.
Do I know which direction?
Not without actually listening to the signal.
Sir, it's a distress signal coming from the Briar Patch.
I mean, you're in the Briar Patch, but yeah.
Shall I see where it's coming from?
Can you just do that and it was a self?
No, dude, I mean, right. You've all seen Star Trek. What happens when the distress signal comes through?
Where's it coming from? Oh, listen to it. Put it on speakers, please.
Yeah, you could have just said on screen. You fucking normies.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
On screen, please.
Commander Dover just says on screen. For fuck's sake, amateurs.
Oh no, he does not.
Yeah,
There's nobody to get fired.
He has said it.
I put it on screen.
On screen it is.
This is Kiara Carr of Settlement Clover 3. We're under attack from Orion slavers. Please help. Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, please send aid. Please respond.
I managed to make out settlement under attacking slavers.
And then at the end, fun.
Officers to the briefing room, please.
I suppose we all go through. I
Ensign
go through.
Galloway, can you inform Big Daddy that we're going to be holding this position temporarily?
Aye, sir.
I will sit down and pour myself a chamomile tea again.
I'm hearing Bovril.
We seem to have found ourselves in a bit of a predicament. My thoughts are that a distress signal could be faked. There could be pirates trying to lead ships astray. It could indeed be a settlement under attack, but we do have a mission which we would be jeopardizing by investigating the distress signal. Thoughts?
As you already stated, it could be a trap.
But on the other hand, it might not be.
In hindsight, I've got to side with the captain on this. Is that we have a mission and we should do that first.
Or we could send a shuttlecraft.
We could, but it would be a great risk to the shuttlecraft. If there are indeed slavers there,
What?
that shuttlecraft could quite easily be discovered and
Captain?
attacked.
Have you ever been a slave?
No.
Well, I have, and my entire people are currently enslaved by the Cardassians. I would not wish that on anyone. I would quite happily lead a away team via shuttle to locate this settlement and try and rescue anybody who is under attack by slavers.
I will agree on one condition. That all members of the away team are volunteers.
If there's an away team, I insist that I go on that away team.
I would also like to point out, we don't know what settlement this is. This could be the one we're going to.
The one
No.
the one you're going to is significantly further away, and it has anti-ship defences.
Okay.
I think a small away team's not going to affect the security of the mission.
I suggest we take a couple of security personnel, and I would like somebody with engineering experience to be able to fly the ship, obviously, and operate the sensors.
If you can find a volunteer willing to helm it, then of course.
Okay, if no one is wanting to send their main characters, the away team will consist of Commander Dovit, Dr. Belial, Chief Petty Officer Gupta, and Crewman Moore and Crewman Hyun, 2 security officers.
Alright, that sounds reasonable to me, indeed.
The rest of you can continue with the mission in an attempt to continue onwards. Is that
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. So, what we're actually going to do now is have a quick bio break, because I need the loot. We'll be back. I'm going to try and get back for about the top of the hour, but we'll say 5 past just to be on the safe side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I will put the...
That's a massive ship.
well, mostly I want to get something to drink as well. Okay, back in 10 minutes.
I'm back at least. Is anybody here?
I hear you, Bars, in the kitchen.
You're the dwarf, right?
Yeah.
I thought you had volunteered for the mission at first. That's why I didn't volunteer. Did I misunderstand something?
No.
So
Don't,
why
don't...
did... What?
Sorry, I missed that.
I thought at first you had volunteered for the mission. That's why I didn't volunteer.
No, I can't say I did.
Alright, no, none of the crew apparently are going on the away mission.
I think the only one that is the doctor.
The doctor decided to go? I thought Lulu said none of us wanted to send our main characters.
I thought the doctor did. Oh, I don't know. I could be wrong. Give me a minute, I need to go and put something in this vodka, then get ice cream.
Well, then I did suppose my character could actually go.
I suppose there is the option that I suppose I could go, seeing as I'm skilled in shipboard tactical systems.
Might be useful, actually.
Yeah, it might come in handy to be able to shoot back if I get shot at.
That could be very useful.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
I am also here.
That means we're only missing 1 or 2 people.
Chris and Kelvin.
I've been here the whole time, just been unable to actually say anything back.
Damn yous.
I got a wireless headset, so it's handy when running around the house. Was the doctor going, Ludo?
Yes. So I'm just going to put a couple of things into Discord chat. Basically, there are a couple of handouts to aid with what's the word I'm looking for here? Actions and things that can be done. Basically, they're a handout of the lists of minor and combat tasks and things like that. since it looks like we might be getting into a fight.
I think myself and the chief were umming and ahhing over volunteering.
Sorry?
Myself and the chief were umming and ahhing over volunteering because I have an expertise in shipboard tactical systems, although more the main ship rather than shuttles.
Well, I mean, if you are not there, then you're just going to be playing one of the supporting characters.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point of the supporting characters.
Yeah, I forget about that.
And Ludo, yes, it looks like a sheep online novel, whatever you call them.
Sorry?
The whole setup with the back pictures and the portraits.
Oh, a
in front
visual
of
novel. It does, yeah. I quite like it.
I think it fits, but it does look like one.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Chris, I noticed that you have not put your weapon or attacks on the on your character sheet.
I didn't know I had them.
Well,
Sorry.
you may.
I don't think I had either.
Well, if you're not going if you're staying on the ship, you won't need them. But yeah, unless you want to go into an away mission with no defensive weapon or equipment, I would suggest that you get them.
Yeah, I'd rather have them. So yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So, like, your weapon will be a Type 1 phaser, and your other equipment will be like your comm badge, medical tricorder, and medical kit.
Need to look up the weapon details, or just.
Well, you will, but if you want to fill in the things, I will get the stuff and I will tell you what to put in.
Very generous. So I just need a tricorder and a medical.
A medical
thing.
tricorder and a medical kit. And a comm badge.
Cool. Yep, got it.
You've also got a Type 1 phaser. So in the box on the left-hand side, you want to hit add.
Hang on. Let me just put this equipment in before I forget it.
Okie dokie.
Comm badge, medical tricorder, medikit, and something else.
Comm badge, medical tricorder, and medical kit. That was it.
Right. Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay, so now the bottom left corner where it says weapons, hit add.
Yep, done it.
Okay, so you want to put weapon in there, phaser type 1.
Yep.
Then in the... Can you click off of that so I can see what the thing is, because I can't see it until you've saved it on your sheet. Thank you. In qualities, you want to put charge, comma, hidden 1. Now, hidden 1 means it's easy to hide because you just put it in your pocket. Charge means that if you take a minor action to charge the weapon, you can basically you can have it do extra stuff. If you go to page 193 of the rulebook, you'll see what charge does there and all the weapon effects and things. The damage of a phaser, which is the thing in the little next to the roll button, is 2 plus your security rating, which for you will be +1 is 3. And you want to make sure a range is selected. And that's it.
Right, I'm going to go to that page ready then. Because, yeah, you never know.
Okay, so the shuttlecraft is getting ready to leave. So we obviously know that Chris is going to be playing Dr. Belial. Who would like to play Commander Dovit? He is, as you can see from his character sheet, he's skilled in his focuses are guerrilla tactics, diplomacy, survival, composure, as well as Starfleet protocol and 3D chess. He's not exactly the most burly of guys, but he's a good leader.
I can't see his character sheet, but I could play him.
You should be able to see his character sheet. It's in all players' journals. If you want to play him, I will give you access to control it. Where are we? Razix. There we go. Should be able to access it now.
I can see it now.
Okay. Who would like to play Chief Gupta? Chief Gupta is a chief petty officer. He is very skilled at engineering and the like. He is basically a transport chief. Think Miles O'Brien from DS9. He's a 60-year-old Indian guy who has been in Starfleet for 40 years. He gets really annoyed at what he considers to be little children ordering him to do things. He is a consummate professional, but tends to be very grumpy and backtalky when there's not officers around. Someone has to play him.
I guess I can.
Okay. You... Vane... That's the wrong button. Brian... You up now have access to CPO Pandal Gupta. That leaves us 2 left. Pian Hyun, or technically Hyun Pan, a Korean human from Earth. He's a security officer. He's armed with... he's a security guy. He's like a combat character.
Can do.
Sorry, who was that?
I can do.
Okay, that's Kelvin. Okay. Now, on your character sheet, you will notice that he does have access to a phaser type 3. That's the rifle. He is not carrying that, but it's on the character sheet, so I put it on there for future reference. Which leaves me to be playing crewman Bruce Moore, who is a space Australian. And another security officer. Okay, before we go to the next scene, does anybody wish to bank any momentum?
I'd like to try banking mine.
How much would you like to bank?
I've got 2, so whatever I can.
You can bank 2.
Cool.
Anyone else want to bank?
I don't
I
have any.
haven't got any.
Me neither.
Simon, I know you've got some. Are you going to bank, or are you going to keep hold of it?
No, I banked earlier. Remember when we talked about it?
Yeah, I'm sure you got another one.
You've got another one since then.
Well, then I'll bank that.
Okay, so you're banking 3. Okay, that leaves you with 3 in the bank after the one of them decays. Okay. The shuttlecraft departs. On the view screen, you see the review of the shuttle as you fly out of the rear hangar bay of the Excelsior class ship. You bank past the Big Daddy and head in the direction of the distress signal. You arrive in orbit of a small Class L planetoid known as Clover, home to half a dozen settlements, mainly agricultural in nature. You are currently in orbit.
Mm-hmm.
Commander Dovit, you're in command.
Sorry, I completely missed that. It cut out for a moment. What did you say to them?
What did you hear?
Silence. Or that we arrived at the planet.
Okay, you arrive at Clover, which is a small Class L planetoid, home to half a dozen settlements, mainly agricultural in nature. You are in orbit. What would you like to do?
Where's the distress call coming from?
It's coming from the planet. Other than that, without further investigation, you don't know.
Can someone tell me where that distress call is coming from? I asked the crew.
I can try, but comms isn't really my speciality.
Do your best. Ensign.
He's not an ensign, he's a chief petty officer.
Chief Petty Officer, do your best.
Okay, Chief Gupta, what would you like to do?
I'd like to try and hail the planet.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting that nobody chose to answer the distress signal when it was messaging you back on the ship. You got the message and then immediately went into the fucking meeting room.
Oh, we thought it was like a recorded one.
Well, no, I never said it was a recorded one.
Oh yeah, you did. Because I would have expected them to keep talking, like maybe say, "Is anybody there listening? Please come in." I thought it was just a played audio.
No, you just.
Yeah, you didn't really lead that one well.
Well, I was expecting you to answer but you were just like, "Okay, crew, office," and I was like, "All right then."
I did ask him. He just said ready room.
Okay, if you are going to com, you don't need. That's going to be a free one. You don't need to roll for that, but you can roll if you want to try and build some momentum.
Nah, he's really shit at this stuff. So he may fucking just put the threat level through the fucking roof.
Okay, you open hailing frequencies. There is no response. It appears that communications are being jammed over the course of over the surface of the planet.
Communications being jammed, Commander.
Do we see any ships on the sensors?
Do I see any ships on the sensors?
Okay, you're going to scan for ships or
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, that will be control con. Now, okay, yeah, everything else is set up. Okay, you do not. You do not register any ships on sensors. However, you do register that there are 6 settlements on the surface.
I can't locate any ships on the scanners, but there are 6 settlements on the surface.
All right, what can you do to locate anything that's going on around this planet?
Okay, am I going to have to remind you of the song?
Yes, please do.
Life forms, diddly-dee-dee. You happy little life forms, diddly-dee-dee. You precious little life forms, diddly-dee-dee.
Can I scan the
Where
for life
you?
forms, please?
You can scan for life forms, yes. It's like none of you watched any Star Trek in preparation for this. That is, in fact, going to be a control science. It is still difficulty 2. Now, because...
Can I help you with that?
You cannot really assist because it's a shuttlecraft. However, there is something he can do. He can buy some extra dice, which is something I was going to bring up before he hit the roll, but he's done it now, so we're going to have to backtrack slightly. Basically, because you know it's difficulty 2, and you're only rolling 2 dice, which means both of them have to success, in order for you to pass. It is at this point where you can use your momentum that you banked previously to buy additional dice. Now, you have 3 momentum in the bank. Now, 1 extra dice costs 1 momentum, and a second dice can costs another 2. So, if you wanted to, you could buy 2 additional task rolls.
I'll buy an additional 1.
Okay. If you fail this, then it's just going to be a fail.
Okie dokie.
So you just need to roll a single dice. In this case, I am going to let someone help you purely because technically you could get assistance from the shuttlecraft, but I forgot to fill out a shuttlecraft form because I honestly forgot that shuttlecrafts actually counted as ships in this game.
So how do I roll a single dice?
Well, you see where it says task roll and it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the number of dice.
I'll just roll 1. Okay.
Yeah. Simon, you wanted to help? You can do control science as well if you wish. Or, in fact, actually you don't need to, but you may as well. Don't do control science, do control command, because you're ordering him to do this.
Excellent. Only 1 dice, I assume?
Yes. You issued an order. Okay, so it was a difficulty 2, and you have a grand total of 4, which means, thanks to that nat 1, Simon, you gain 1 momentum, and Brian, you gain 1 momentum.
Awesome.
And you bought 1 dice, so that is going back to the blanks. Okay. You scan for life forms, and you find that the settlements, the 3 settlements in the southern hemisphere, are sparsely populated. 6 or 7 people per settlement. In the northern hemisphere, you have 2 settlements that appear to be abandoned, and 1 settlement that has about 40 people on it.
You tell me this.
Now, this is where things, again, get interesting. You can spend momentum to gain extra information. So, the information I've given you is pretty general. If you spend an information point, I can give you a more specific piece of information. If you spend another one, I can give you a further piece of specific information.
Do it, Brian. Do it.
Yeah, I'll have 1 more piece of information, please.
Okay, now are you going to be using your
My personal momentum, yeah.
Yeah, that is instant momentum.
Okay. Yeah, I'll use my instant momentum.
Okay. You scan with a bit more intensity, which means you just kind of stare at it a bit more, I guess. And the 3rd settlement, that is the one in with 40 life forms, contains 20 humans, 6 Orion, and 4 other mammalian life forms. From the look of them, they're probably dogs or cats or something. Animals of some description.
Commander, I've scanned the settlements on the planet's surface. All are sparsely populated or abandoned, but 1 is showing Orion life signs.
Set course for that settlement immediately.
Aye, sir.
Right, are you just going to fly down and land in the middle of the town, or are you going to do something else?
No,
I will point out to Commander Dovit, he did grow up fighting Cardassians in the Resistance. He is one of his focuses is guerrilla tactics and survival.
I was going to tell him when he got a little bit closer to land in the outskirts, but you know.
Oh well, I wasn't going to make him go it second by second down. That's why I was asking now.
Alright. Well, when we get a little bit closer, I tell him to land it in the outskirts so we can outflank the enemy.
Okay. If you come down even on the outskirts of the settlement, you will be noticed. So you're probably going to be landing and then straight into an encounter. However, if you land like a couple of miles away from the settlement, you'll have to walk in, but it's less likely you'll be spotted.
Oh wait, right, miles. I'm sorry, I was thinking of kilometers and miles, not miles.
Right, okay. Then in this case, kilometre, this is not D&D. Measurements are not used in this game. Measurements are abstract. I said miles because it's purely the language that it's in my lexicon. Kilometres, miles, whatever you want.
I was more thinking if we land a couple of miles and kilometers and miles away, they would probably have time to disappear before we got there.
We're all European, so just say kilometres if that makes you more comfortable.
Right, my head is not programmed with the other one, so...
Well, again, like I say, distance in this game is abstract. You're not going to be measuring anything. There's not even any battle maps.
We'll land outside in a roughly nice distance so we can walk there in time for them not to disappear.
Okay. I would like you to give another order, like you just did before, Captain Vane. And you will be doing that in support of Chief Gupta's... I think he's flying.
I roll one dice.
You will in just a second. I just want to check something quickly. It's actually going to be better if one of the security guys flies because they're actually slightly. Actually, no, they're kind of the same. Chief Gupta, if you want to give me a control con, and you will roll an additional thingy.
Control command.
Yeah.
So I got 3 dice to roll it.
No, you got 2. Why would you? Unless you're buying another one.
Oh, no. And it's complication range 1.
Yes. Because you're not doing sensors. Okay. You fucking jammy bastards. It's a bitty bumpy ride down. Commander Dovit, you gain 1 momentum. Generally, it means you grabbing Gupta by the shoulders and saying, "Down there, down there," pointing to like a depression in the ground.
All right, I thought it was more like my character going, "Now, good flying, but please pull out of this nosedive and land us over there." But yours seems more reasonable. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, sorry, it went quiet.
Yeah, the music finished at exactly the same time as well.
Yeah, that's because I was looking for a thing.
He's doing a wardrobe change. See, I was going to have my character joke on the way down, but it's a good job the ship's not crashing, because one of my focuses is I once piloted a crashing ship. I thought it might come in handy. You know, if you're ever in a crashing ship, you're like, I have this focus. It's part of our whole story.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're not crashing.
Yeah, but I could have piloted it. I've got a focus. There was this one time. Although my skills would be terrible.
No, that just means you're good at surviving shuttle crashes.
Yeah. I haven't got the skills to back it up at all. You know, it was just something that happened in our life.
You probably want to change that to survival, so it's a bit more encompassing. That's general survival as opposed to just surviving shuttle crashes.
I've already got that. I've already got survival training. I might have to hone that last one.
Yeah.
It was more just fitted a story, so I just stuck it in.
You land. The shuttle shuts down. The air is thin and cold, and you smell a slight scent of burning in the distance. You ready yourselves and move towards the spirals of smoke you see are coming from the settlement a little further away. Creeping through the sparse vegetation, the smell of burning fills the air around you, and you hear the cries of panic and yelling coming from the centre of the settlement. From your hidden position, you see half a dozen green-skinned humanoids in rough leathers and armour are dragging terrified colonists to a makeshift corral in the centre of town and shackling them. An avian shuttlecraft sits at the edge of the colony with its engines and systems powered down. A large ramp on its belly is lowered.
I don't know about anybody else, but I draw my phaser.
Sneak up, and then we all take the shot at the same time so we can surprise as many of them as possible.
That, I will point out, is not the Starfleet way.
Also, we don't know anything about them.
I will point out that although that is certainly the acceptable thing to do in D&D and a lot of role-playing games, this is Star Trek. If you can lose reputation and get in trouble with the top brass if you just run into situations guns blazing and don't try and resolve it peacefully first. If you still wish to do it, which is entirely possible because of Dovit's... what's Dovit's thingy? Give me a second.
That he's an insubordinate asshat.
One of Dovit's values is true liberation for all species. So, here's what I'm going to do. Dovit. It would be against the best interests of the mission and your crew to sneak around and just gun these bastards down. I will give you a determination if you do that.
What would you give me? I'm sorry, cut out.
A determination. Now, a determination can be used if you trade it in. A determination will give you one automatic nat 1 on a dice, so that's 2 successes automatically. Everybody starts at each session with 1 determination. If you follow that value, even though it is against the best interests of the people involved, I will give you another determination.
Ovid will most definitely do this. He hates all people who take anyone hostage, then enslave them.
Okay, you have your orders, crew.
I get ready to follow them.
Gupta mumbles under his breath once Dovit's out of ears, and he's like, "This is the problem with officers."
Are we going to meet them to negotiate?
Nope. The commander wants us to just sneak up and kill him.
Right.
He didn't say kill them. He said shoot them. You can still stun
sneak up
them.
and shoot them.
Keep your guns at stun people.
I'm morally offended by them just slaughtering completely.
Okay, he didn't say slaughter. He said keep it on stun. If you want to try and talk him out of this situation, that is the whole point of this game, is to RP like this.
Commander, is this really the best idea?
No, dude. Not you. You were ready to do the orders. It was Belial who was morally against it. This is a conversation that should be between Belial, the ship's doctor, and the ship's first officer.
I need to remind you, officer, any blood spilt on this away mission is on your hands. And it'll be me having to mop it up as usual as well.
We'll be keeping the weapons at stun. Don't worry, they will be alive, just a little bit shaken up. We can't let them take hostages like this. Enslave people. It's against human nature.
You're a Bajoran.
Bajoran.
Okay, I'll just be careful with this kind of action. These are still people.
Barely.
Okay.
Plus, it could still be a trap.
Of course, we'll all proceed with caution.
I'd like to ask, from where I'm currently stood, wherever, whatever it is, can I see the inside of the ship?
No.
I point out to the commander, well, we can't see inside the ship. Is that everybody, or is there more in the ship?
You can see 6, and the life signs that you scanned for earlier said that there were 6.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, now, initiative in this game works slightly different. In that... I just kind of decide what order you go in.
Okay.
And you go, and it basically goes it goes one of you, bad guy, one of you, bad guy, one of you, bad guy. Now, because the commander is going in this course of action, I'm going to say the 2 security guards will be going ahead, and then pirate. Then we will have the commander, pirate, Gupta, pirate. Okay, so the order will be crewman crewman Pan, crewman Moore, Commander Dovit, Chief Gupta, and then Dr. Belial, interspersed with Orions.
Mm-hmm. I do have a question.
Yes.
I have 2 focuses, one being hand phases and the other being squad tactics.
Yes.
Do they count as one for basically rolling die?
If you're shooting at someone with a hand phaser, which you will be, then you use your focus for that. Basically, the focus means that every success you get is 2 successes.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask because obviously we're trying to coordinate shooting them.
Yeah, but they're busy, so it's a difficulty 0 to sneak up on them.
Okay.
So I wasn't going to make you roll for it. You're ambushing them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, you got guerrilla tactics from your commander as well. So again, he knows what he's doing in this sort of situation. So again, I wasn't going to make you roll for anything.
Awesome.
Can I just ask on this one? So I have a talent pack tactics, where if I assist someone in combat, they gain additional momentum. Because it's not going to happen here because I've objected to it. But if then I had to, if they're going to shoot back, then I'd change my opinion as well. But if I'm assisting someone, I just thought I'd mention it. I'll ask how it would work if it comes up, though.
It works. It works.
My morals won't let me assist, I would guess.
It would work in the same. Right, you know how the commander was ordering people before? It's a very similar way to that. Okay.
Sorry, as an example, let's say someone said, "Oh, we need to put down some covering fire." I could say, "I will assist them doing that."
Yeah, that would be an assisting, but you would be using your weapon to do it.
Assist in other ways. I just thought that was the only way you could.
No, you don't just say I assist. It's not D&D. When it comes round to your turn, you basically, because a lot of roleplay games are very specific in what you have to do. You would just basically, in order to assist, you know how people have been assisting so far.
Yeah, you would. I would have to. Someone would have to want my assistance. Is I think.
No, you can, on your turn, you can just declare that the next person who's shooting, you're going to assist, and then when they shoot, you can shoot as well, but your weapon won't do any damage because you're doing the assist.
All right. Yeah, I've got it.
But you will have to make a weapon attack to do it. It's not like you won't be doing a medical attack or anything like that. If you're covering fire, if you're assisting in other ways, you would need to roll a different thing.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so you are currently at medium range, which means that you are in the adjacent attack zone. You are also in an area that has pretty good cover, whereas they are in an area that does not have cover. Okay, so one second. Just making sure I do this right. It's the first time I've run a combat encounter.
I'd like to point out I can't see the turn order.
You're not supposed to see the turn order, you don't need to.
Okay.
You don't need to be completely honest, you don't really need to see anything.
Okay.
I mean, if you wanted to see something, I can put you on the tracker. Yeah, that turn order there is specifically for me.
Okay.
Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Cannot find the rules for cover.
Yeah. I'm sure it's just in the manual because I read a bit about this, about zoning and all stuff like that. I'm sure it says that cover is worth X amount of value.
Yeah, it says if the target has any resistance dice, thing from cover, etc., roll those, but I cannot find the value. I know how the rest of it goes, I just cannot find the fucking cover. Environment and zones. Yeah, this combat system is nowhere near as detailed as I'm used to. I'm just going to quickly check the index. Oh, there it is. No wonder I didn't find it. It's in fucking starships.
What? That's insane.
Okay, so that's just a heck of a lot easier than it is. Right. That's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Simon, are you back? Excellent. Okay. So, Crewman Pian, or Crewman Pan rather, Pan Hyun, which I believe is you, Kelvin.
Aye,
It's your go. What would you like to do? You see 6 Orions. 5 of them appear to be taking orders from one officer. They have not noticed you. They seem to be more interested in rounding up and locking up colonists.
I wish to aim for the commander of them.
Okay. So, it's at this point that you need to declare any minor actions or tasks that minor actions or actions that you wish to do. Now, aiming is a minor action. Now, if you have that list that I sent Jarl,
Yep.
Aim.
The character may re-roll a single d20 made on an attack before the start of the next turn.
So you get one action and one minor action. Now, you can actually take extra minor actions, but you have to buy them with either momentum or threat. You can also spend momentum to increase the damage that you do with your weapons. Now, if you want to take a shot, it's a control and security attack with a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
And you're going for the officer, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just get the officer sheet up here. So, what you would need to do is say you are aiming as a minor action, and then you are going to non-lethally shoot the officer.
Okay. I am going to aim as non-action and shoot The officer, wait, non-lethally.
So that's control security. It's difficulty 2 before you roll. Complication 1. So basically it's a complication 1, task roll 2. It is difficulty 2.
Yeah. I roll that, don't I?
You roll what?
I click on the challenge dice.
Dude, it's the exact same thing that you've been rolling this entire game.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought I'd ask, seeing as there's a button next to the challenge dice.
Yeah, no, that's when you hit. That's damage.
Aha.
Okay, you technically get to re-roll one of them.
Okay, I'll give that a go.
Okay, so, yes. Phaser blast whistles past and the Orions look up in shock. Drawing their disruptor pistols, they spread out and begin to return fire. The first Orion pirate will look up and he's going to draw a bead on crewman Pan. And he is going to raise his disruptor, and you are in dense cover, which gives you resistance, an extra resistance 1 if he hits you. Which he doesn't.
Okay.
The disruptor blast goes flying over your head. Crewman Moore, the Space Australian, will draw out his phaser. Oh, we've got so much to do.
Do I actually roll for damage?
No, you didn't hit.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I needed 2, didn't I?
Yeah, and if the picture of Crewman Moore doesn't have a big wide hat with the corks on it, I'm going to be very upset.
That's when I get to him.
He will draw a... Oh, actually, you probably would have hit because you have... you've got focus hand phasers. That means that's an extra. That means that's an extra success.
I forgot about pressing the focus.
Yeah,
Sorry about
focus wouldn't have worked anyway. For some reason, it doesn't work. But for future, we'll do it. Yeah, Bruce has, because of course his first name's fucking Bruce, has the same thing. So he will shoot. And 4. So that means he has 4, which gains him 2 momentum, which means he is going to roll his Type 2 phaser. He's going to use his 2 early momentum to boost his damage up by 2 to 7, 8, 9. Dice rolls. Okay, so what you can see here, as now that you've seen the damage, is obviously a 0 is a 0, no damage. 1 is 1 damage, 2 is 2 damage, but the little Federation symbol is 1 damage and an effect. Although, from the look of this, I've done 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage. And Orion Pirates have a resistance of 1. They're not in cover, which brings it down to 10 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's over 5 in a single hit. The Orion Pirate is hit in the chest and stunned and knocked unconscious.
Who's up next?
Yeah.
The Orion, another one of the other pirates will draw his disruptor, and is going to shoot at Commander Dovit. Shot going wide, missing Dovit. And Dovit, it is your go.
No.
Simon, that's you.
Yeah, I couldn't hear a moment there, so you couldn't hear me either. I am going to use a determination
To do what?
to hit. To hit.
So,
with the
right,
phaser.
you're gonna shoot with your phaser and add a determination die. So, basically what you do there is make the shot as everyone else has been doing. Control security, and you'll get 2 successes automatically.
Control security, right?
Yes. Okay, so 2 with your determination. So you cross off one of your determinations. That means you hit. So you roll damage, which should be down by your Type 2 phaser.
Where do I press roll damage?
It's the little Starfleet button next to in Type 2 phaser.
That thing?
Yep, that thing. Okay, you're aiming at one of the pirates, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 damage, non-lethal, I'm assuming. You guys really need to say it before you shoot, because otherwise you're going to just start getting threat added on.
And you may annoy the doctor.
Yeah. So Orion pirates have 1 resistance, which knocks that down to 5. They do not have any momentum, so they can't really get out of the way. So yes, you hit the pirate, and he is stunned and injured. Obviously, he's not going to die, but he's out of the fight.
Excellent, that's how I want it.
Okay, he's unconscious. Chief Gupta.
Okie dokie. I want to take aim at the Orion that was given the orders.
The officer.
Yes, please.
Okay. That gives you a reroll. Okay, that's 1 success. You need 1 more. You can re-roll that 0, obviously.
Okay.
Okay, so you were trying to kill this guy, yeah?
Oh, fuck no. I did say that I was on stun earlier. I thought we all set our stuff to stun.
You need to declare before you shoot.
Alright. No, don't want to kill
you
it.
need to... I'm sorry, unfortunately, it's in the rules. You do need to declare each time. Okay, that's still a hit, though.
Okie dokie.
So, roll challenge dice. Okay. You wing him. He is still up, though.
Phew, nearly broke Starfleet protocol. Doctor fumbles, like you see him, like, look at his phaser. He looks at Dovit and is like, I'm so sorry. Like, mouthing it to him and then puts it on stun.
There's actually... Have you actually seen the... have you seen the trailer for Star Trek Below Decks?
No.
There is a moment where it's basically Final Space but Star Trek. At the end of that trailer, the one of the ensigns is in jail cell, and the other one shoots at him with a phaser, and he says, "Oh my God, what are you doing? You nearly phasered me." And she says, "Don't worry, it's..." And she just freaks out at us, and she just stares at us and says, "No, it was on stun. It was on stun." That exact moment. Okay, Dr. Belial, it's your go.
Right. How did you say this assist would work? Because I'm just going to be shooting as well. How would it? Because it's like a free momentum to whoever I assist shooting.
Okay. What you would do is you would just make a standard attack roll, and if you hit, so if it's a success, right. Normally hitting is a difficulty 2, but what you're trying to do is difficulty 1. So you would make an attack roll like everyone else has been doing, but if you get 1 success, then the person that you're assisting gains an extra momentum if they hit.
On their next attack turn?
Yeah, if they hit, they get an extra momentum.
Alright. Okay. Well, despite what's just happened, looking at his stats, I'll assist Captain Vane. I'm so annoyed that I'm keeping an eye on him.
You mean Captain Vane, who's on the ship?
Oh right, it just said he rolled. That was all. It was whoever fucked up then.
Oh, Gupta. That means you're gonna kill that motherfucker. Don't help somebody else.
Gupta, I will be remembering your name. So I'm going to set my phaser to stun and take a shot. I'm going to be assisting Gupta on his next shot.
Okay, make the attack roll, please.
Gubit will be really angry if Gupta actually kills someone.
How many dice do I get?
2.
2.
Difficulty 1. Yeah. Sadly, your shot goes wide.
Oh. At least I didn't hurt anyone.
Okay. One of the Orion pirates. I don't see why people have to be so effing loud.
Yell that out the window, Ludo. Yell it out the window.
I want to, but this is Portsmouth. It will probably start a fight. I'm a very big guy. They just look at me and go, "Oh, he's a challenge. Let's go for him." Okay, one of the Orion pirates levels his weapon. Will shoot at...
Did they shoot to kill or to stun?
Shooting at Bruce. And hits. And is going to use 1 of the threat to increase the damage of his disruptor pistol to 6. Okay, Bruce takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is in cover, so he gets that reduced by 1 to 6. That's Bruce over there. Yeah. Sorry, what?
How do you count the damage there? There are 4 Starfleet symbols and then a 2.
Yeah, so each Starfleet is 1 and an effect.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to know how to count it.
Yeah. So he is going to take... I've lost count now. Hang on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is reduced to 6. Bruce is a minor character, so he doesn't have anything to avoid injury. Bruce is hit full in the chest by a disruptor bolt and goes down. From the look of the disruptor burn on him, it looks like that was a lethal attack. Which means, unless at the end of not the end of combat, but the end of the scene, he has not received medical attention, he's going to die. Ah! Mate! Okay, the officer.
Is Bruce a red shirt, more importantly?
Well, technically, he's a security officer, so yeah, pretty much.
No, sorry. Just for the first blood, we needed to check the first blood was a red shirt. Not saying medical officer, not saying that.
The officer is going to start yelling commands at the other Orions. He yells, "The mistress will have our heads! Shoot better!" And is going to do a presence command check to intimidate them into doing better. And succeeds. Doesn't gain any extra threat, though. There's down to threat 1. I haven't taken it off the thing, but there's one of those threat is missing. I'm on a different screen at the moment. And we go back to the top to Security Officer Pan.
I agree with his order and try and shoot better. Non-lethally.
At who?
The officer.
Okay. Are you aiming or doing anything with your...
I'm going to aim. I'm going to aim at the officer and shoot him non-lethally. And I am focused on it with my hand phaser.
Okay.
That was complication 2 on it.
No, you leave the complication as it is. Complication 1,
okay.
Difficulty 2.
Okay.
Difficulty isn't on there. Okay, so that's 4. So that's a hit, and you gain 2 momentum. Now you can store those, you can bank those, or you can use those. So you can accept those, you can bank them, or you can use them immediately to add an extra 2 dice to your damage roll.
I'd like to use them both, if possible,
Okay.
to add damage.
So you're going to need to temporarily add 2 to the damage on your Type 2 phaser, roll it, and then take them off. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is no way that he's getting out of that. You stun the officer, he goes down.
Did we asked?
Good shot.
And one of the pirates is going to shoot at the commander. That is Commander Dover.
Yes, I am prepared.
And his shot goes wide. Bruce is busy bleeding out. That Orion pirate is... Okay. There are 3 Orion pirates that are left up. And they are going to start falling back towards their ship. One of them is going to take a shot at Gupta. In fact, no, they're not going to take a shot at all. He's going to use his turn to fall back to... He's going to extend distance with you, which is going to basically increase the... it's going to put them in cover. As they fall back to the zone, they're falling back from the central square into the area around where their shuttle is, which gives them cover.
Okay.
That's that one. Dovit, there is one who's fallen back, and there are two who have not yet fallen back.
I'm gonna take a shot at one of those still close by, and I'm gonna use a momentum to get an extra dice. I can do that, right?
Yes, you can. So that means you're rolling 3 dice. Are you going to aim, or are you going to do anything else with your minor action?
I'll aim.
Okay.
That's not good.
Okay, shit. That's 3. So that's you gain an extra momentum. Now that's immediate momentum, which means you can either keep hold of it for later on, or you can increase your damage dice by 1.
I'll increase the damage dice by 1. Oh shit, I forgot to say that I was using stun.
So you may have just killed someone.
I will not increase the damage dice then. I will use stay at the same.
When he stopped getting shot.
Ludo?
Sorry?
Ludo?
What?
Since I forgot to say that I was shooting at stun, I'll...
You haven't rolled
Thanks,
damage yet.
definitely.
You haven't rolled damage yet. I'll allow it because it's still first session.
Alright, then I will shoot at stun, and I'll... Do I increase the number from 5 to 6 then before rolling, or how do I...
What is the damage on your hand phaser? Your phaser mark 2.
5.
5. So that would become 6 for this attack. Then you put it back to 5 afterwards.
Yeah, that's sort of how I figured it would work.
Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have resistance of 1, which reduces it to 6. That means they take 6 stun. You shoot one of them in the back as he starts to run away, and he drops.
The Starfleet way.
Totally. Go with Moss way anyway.
Sorry, that amused me a lot.
Chief Gupta.
Okay.
There's one who's still retreating, and there's one who's taking cover in the buildings.
I'm going to try and pop the one running away. With in stun. In stun.
What's up, Doctor? Watching you.
And I'm going to take a minor action to aim. I don't know what that does, but I do it.
That allows you to re-roll one of your dice. Sadly, the shot goes wide.
Use your momentum, guys!
I don't know.
Hey, Doctor, kill them all.
There's still stored momentum.
Of course there is, yeah. I keep forgetting about the fucking stored momentum.
Here's some very angry swearing from Gupta. Bloody land phaser, not who done this? I'm a bloody engineer. You son of bitch. Because he's from India, so he has that accent. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's me.
Okay, he's going to be the doctor. Can I make a suggestion? If you're going to assist someone, like you did, if you're going to use the assist thing, don't use your phaser if you don't have to, because you're not really a combat character. So like yell words of encouragement or some shit like that.
I should have. I know. As I was looking at the first aid stuff, I saw assist, and I realised I should have just assisted on my last turn. That should have been my turn. But there we go. Now I know. I'm going to take a shot. No, I'm not. I'm going to dash over as a small action, and then a task of obviously first aiding Bruce so he doesn't die. I'm going to use my focus, which is A&E surgery, if that's all right. I think that'll give me something.
Let me have a look at your sheet quickly, because A&E surgery is accident and emergency.
Yeah, I mean, like crisis surgery. This is what I mean by A&E. Less heart surgery, more gunshot wound crisis surgery, like a paramedic would do.
I also notice you're missing one focus.
Do you know? I wasn't sure.
You're supposed to have
I will.
six. You get two.
I will
You
add
get
one.
you get one from your birth, three from Starfleet, and two from the random events. Let's have a look here. Just lose the A&E, so it's surgery. That'll cover it. So yes, you can make a. Let's have a look here. There is actually a first aid ability you can use, but I'm not 100% sure how you do it. So I'm just going to say you do a daring medicine.
Yeah, that's what I read. Daring medicine. For that surgery, is paramedic or surgery, is that better?
I would just
Because I
keep it
don't
as.
mind it being.
Yeah, but surgery is operating on people. If you put paramedic, then it just opens it up to a shitload more interpretations.
Like that. Right, I'm rolling.
That
Oh.
is a fail, unfortunately, unless you want to use a determination, which will give you 2 successes, which will make 4 successes, because this is a focus.
Do it.
Yeah, I have to do it, really.
Okay, you really should.
Yeah.
You really, for future reference, you need to do it before you roll.
I feel like I'd had enough, so I didn't expect a 00.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You need to advise it beforehand. He's had a disruptor blast, which is a very nasty wound. This is not going to gain you any momentum, but you do stabilize him, and you stop him disintegrating and dying.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay, he's going to need some time in sick bay. But yeah, he's Bruce is stabilized. He's not going to die. The pirate that is fleeing is going to make it to cover. The officer is unconscious. Crewman Pan.
I'm going to attempt to aim at the fleeing Orion.
They both. There are 2 Orions that are on their feet. They're both in cover now.
Okay. I'll still attempt to aim at one of them. And I will non-lethally shoot him with my hand phaser.
Okay. That will hit. Although, it does. You do nat 20, which is a complication. Your phaser is out of charge.
Wonderful.
But you did hit. Because it's a focus.
Okie doke.
So it's just standard damage, because there's nothing that you can add to it. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, these are complications. Complications is a negative thing that you can do to them. But you can actually give up complications in exchange for Actually, no, you can't. You can give up momentum in exchange for getting rid of complications. You didn't get any momentum. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Minus 2. You still hit him. He still goes down.
Awesome.
Was that all of them?
No, there's one left. Bruce is stable. Commander Dovit.
Okay, I will use once again a momentum from my personal pool to.
I'm sorry,
shoot
you
with my
broke up.
face
You
at
broke up
the-
there. Where are you getting the momentum from?
My personal pool.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Let's see here. Should be a hit.
Yeah, that is a hit, and you also gain another momentum.
Excellent. I stun him with a blast from my piece. Type 2 now.
Are you going to up the damage? 2, 4, 6, 7. -2 is 5. Yep, he's stunned. He is down, thus ending combat.
Okay. We will now proceed to free the prisoners.
Commander,
Sorry, carry on.
Commander, is it worth securing these so, well, they're no threat to us anymore? Just in case they happen to wake up.
Good point. You two points at the security dudes.
One's the other security guy's out.
Oh, right.
He's not
okay,
dead,
fine.
but he needs to get back to the sick bay as quickly as possible.
On my 00 roll, would he have died? Without
No, you just wouldn't have stabilised him.
Is it Starfleet protocol to bring slavers back and face charges, or what
Yeah.
would happen in this situation? Yeah.
You can imprison them, stick them in the brig on the ship. Then they will be handed over to Starfleet security for interrogation and be sent off to a penal colony.
We shall bring them back to the ship so we can turn them over to Starfleet. It's a good thing if you point at Gupta and the security officer. Then you secure the prisoners. I'll go free the people over there.
Commander, if I can interject.
Do the accent.
No. Commander, can I interject?
Gupta, what is it?
The pirate ship might have routes and paths through the briar patch, which could help with the ship's main mission. It might be worth checking their computers.
Excellent suggestion. I do believe that securing the prisoners and freeing the
I'm going to stop you there
Yes,
because you
okay.
already learnt at the beginning of the mission there aren't routes and things like that through the briar patch. It's a nebula. It's moving constantly.
Okay. Well, but the computer would have information because there might be more on their way or anything. I just think it's a good play to check the ship.
I agree with you, and not Ensign, but we'll do that after we've secured the prisoners and freed the hostages.
Okay.
Okay, I'm assuming you'll bring the doctor with you to check out the colonists.
I believe the doctor is busy taking care of our man.
No, she's already done that.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
ask-
bringing the doctor.
Is he in sort of like a cocoon of healing, and I can just leave him
You have stabilised him.
like a mummified body to be picked up, like a parcel,
You just fucking sprayed Omnigel on him.
bubble wrapped?
Oh no,
in
hang on,
smells
that's a wrong
really
system.
foul. Anyway, yeah,
Doctor,
I'll be going because I could offer insights. I've got very high insight because I'm still sciencey. So, yes, lead the way.
we'll go over to the prisoners then to free them from the
Okay,
bindings.
you head over, you unlock their shackles and let them out. They are very relieved to see you. A woman who appears to be their leader says, "Oh, who says Starfleet's never around when you want them to?" "I'm Chiara Kerr. Did you get my message?"
Of course. Our
Oh,
captain
thank
decided not to respond immediately.
Your captain sounds like he needs to watch more episodes of TNG.
I'll get a bit of provider.
Fucking homework.
I will give him that recommendation, man.
Can we just, for the story, can we just not pretend that didn't happen and it was just a message?
For the story, we can certainly pretend that, yes. But in reality, we're going to take the piss out of you constantly.
Maybe he's got like a dodgy comm thing and it's got like a cracked wire in it. So, so he's on the comms and it goes a bit crackly.
It was a problem with the comms.
Yeah, we have a constant problem because we bought them all from Wowie.
Comms are us.
They're all Wowie discontinued 5G stock that got banned.
Well, I must say, Starfleet, your timing is perfect. Those Orions have been a problem for months. However,
our timing was not perfect.
Yeah, before we were able to buy them off with a share of our crops, but we've had a bad harvest recently, and they just decided that we'd be worth more on the slave block. If you hadn't come along, that would have been that would have been it for us.
Do you know if there are more slavers around here, or if this is the only group?
As far as I'm aware, this is the only group.
Are any of your people injured at all?
A few scrapes and bruises. The slavers didn't want to damage potential merchandise.
How did you end up out here in the middle of nowhere? Why here?
No offense, but the Federation has a lot of rules. Out here, we can be free. We don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about Federation taxes and
usually those rules are what also accompanies ships that can aid you in situations like this.
To be honest, I'm not going to make my suggestion of putting an outpost out here to protect them because I don't think they'd like it.
Well, you know how it is, the frontier spirit.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, David will check out the enemy ship now to see what information he can learn from it.
Well, that is actually where we're going to leave it for today.
Dang it.
We will come back next week, and we will do the other half of the story. What happened to the rest of the bridge crew on the Stormspike?
Got attacked, didn't it?
We will see what happened to the rest of the crew on the Stormspike.
That's it.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's it. We now live on a shuttle. That's it.
It's become Shuttle Simulator.
Yeah, this is it. It's like it's.
No, we steal the fucking Orion fucking ship, and
this is not Firefly. We're going to stop. I'm stopping the recording. Damn you all.
Yeah, that was very, very quickly turning into